down like a rabbit hole on that Guinness World Records website. You know, past like the tallest person, the fastest marathon, you get to some pretty weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving into that today. Those weird records. We've got articles from How Stuff Works, List 25, Board Panda, even a bit from Wikipedia about the history of it all.
Right.
And trust me, you are gonna want to hear this.
It's fascinating, these records, they tell us so much about being human. It's not always about like fame or anything. It's that drive to push the limits, to have that weird moment of, I did it.
Okay, so picture this. You're way up high, 3 stories. Platform, the whole deal. Below you. Not a big fluffy thing, not a pool full of foam blocks, a kiddie pool like the one your little cousins splash around in.
Oh, wow.
A foot of water, that's it. Would you jump?
That's the situation for Professor Splash. He's got the world's highest shallow dive. Over 33 feet down, landing in 12 inches of water. That takes real precision, understanding the physics.
How's he going to say?
And maybe a little bit of not caring what happens to you, honestly.
The article mentioned the risks, yeah. If you go in too steep, it's not a splash anymore. It's a pack.
Yeah.
But hey, different strokes, right? Some people climb Everest. Some people conquer the kiddie pool.
Exactly.
This next one is more wholesome, but no less impressive.
Huh.
Picture like a sea of capes, right? All spandex. 867 people in the UK got together, all dressed as Superman, the record for the biggest gathering. Makes you wonder what the real Superman thinks of it all.
See, that's what I love, brings people together. That shared love, even if it's for something as specific as, we all love Superman.
All right, this next one. This one might make you put down the burger. Or maybe crave one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard of a fast food fan, but this guy, he's eaten over 26,000 Big Macs.
No way.
That's like his whole diet for decades.
Yeah.
And get this, he says he's in decent health.
It does make you wonder what the human body can handle. I'm not saying I'd recommend an all Big Mac diet, but nutrition is weird, man.
Like a real-life Supersize Me, but with way more ketchup and no film crew. Speaking of pushing limits, though, we found the record for the longest fingernails ever.
Oh, I've heard about this. I can't even...
Like really long.
Yeah, several feet long. Like longer than a car. I don't know how you function in the world with those.
Can't even imagine. Can't even type an email without breaking a nail, let alone grow them that long.
Okay.
From kind of gross to utterly ridiculous. This next record, it's about blowing marshmallows. Out your nose.
I guess the human nose can do some weird stuff. This one, the farthest marshmallow nose blow, it's kind of pure, It's fun.
Yeah, with all the like crazy stunts and eating habits we found, it's nice to remember that sometimes records are just about goofing off. Although, at what point did someone say, I bet I can launch this marshmallow across the room with a sneeze?
Right. Who even thinks of that?
But on a more serious note, there was this family in Mexico. They've got the record for the largest hairy family. But it's not just like a funny quirk. It's a real genetic thing. Congenital generalized hypertrichosis.
Right, where you have way more hair than usual all over. And while the record is, well, unusual, their story is more about accepting who you are, 2 of them even perform with the Mexican National Circus. They turned it into something positive.
It really shows how what makes you different can also be kind of amazing. Speaking of amazing, let's talk facial hair for a sec. We found a guy, he's won the World Beard and Mustache Championships like 8 times.
8? What, was he sweeping every category?
Imperial partial beard category, apparently. That's years of dedication right there. Real artistry and probably a lot of beard oil.
I bet his bathroom sink is a mess. But seriously, it's cool there's these whole communities for beards, right? With their own rules, competitions, everything.
From super groomed beards to mind-blowing endurance.
This next record, someone who really loves video games. Imagine playing Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, for over 135 hours straight.
Wait, how is that even? Were they allowed to sleep?
That's commitment. It shows how powerful games can be, but also, dude, that can't be healthy. No sleep, eye strain, probably all cramped up. Take breaks, people, even when you're going for a world record.
Seriously, I'd be worried about their thumbs after that.
Speaking of needing a break, I need a minute to wrap my head around 135 hours. In the meantime, let's switch gears. Remember those crazy long fingernails from before?
Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
Sridhar Chilal from India, he's got that record. Stopped cutting the nails on one hand back in 1952, grew them for over 66 years, longer than a car combined.
Longer than a car. Did they at least like curl elegantly, or was it just nail spikes? I'm picturing like those old-timey cars too, like those really long ones.
Oh no, now I'm picturing it. That's kind of scary.
Everyday life, right?
Mm.
How do you even open a door?
Yeah.
thinking about it. Some of these are less about skill and more like just enduring something,
Yeah.
well, those fingernails.
Totally. It connects to a bigger thing about these records, I think. It's not always being good at something in the normal way. It's pushing yourself to the limit, whether that's your body, how much pain you can take, or just not giving up.
Like we found this one, most clothes pegs clipped to someone's face in 1 minute. The record's 51.
Ah.
I get stressed just matching my socks in the morning.
Right. Or how about this farthest arrow shot using your feet? Impressive aim shows what the human body can do with enough practice, I guess.
Making me rethink what's possible, seriously.
But of all the weird stuff we've talked about today, anything really stick with you?
Hmm, tough one. But I keep thinking about this guy, Roy C. Sullivan. Park ranger, got hit by lightning 7 times.
7. 1, okay, that's awful luck. But 7, that's like messing with the universe.
Right. Makes you wonder about luck versus, like, are you supposed to have died? And there's that whole unknown factor to it, which I find really interesting.
So before we finish up our deep dive here, let's bring it back. We've laughed, we've cringed, maybe questioned some life choices. What's the takeaway?
For me, it's how boundless humans are. These records, as weird and wacky as they are, they show we want to explore, achieve, make our mark on the world, even if it's a weird mark.
It's true. There's always more to find, more to push for, more stories that make you go, wait, really? And who knows? Maybe one day it'll be one of you listening with that story.
That's right. So, as you go about your day, think about it. What impossible thing, no matter how strange, could you maybe achieve? Keep following those weird passions you never know. Maybe we'll see you in the Guinness World Record someday. Until next time, keep diving deep.